Hey, hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Let's learn with Lizzie. Today we are going to explore a very beautiful and patriotic poem from your class 9 English textbook Kaveri, Bharat Our Land by Subramanya Bharati. This poem is extremely important for your CBSE exams because it covers themes, literary devices, symbolism, and value-based understanding. So make sure you stay till the end. Let's begin with the poet. Subramanya Bharati was not just a poet. He was a freedom fighter, nationalist, and social reformer. He believed in equality, education, and women empowerment. His poetry is full of patriotism, energy, emotional strength, and through his poems, he wanted people to wake up, feel proud, and fight for their country. Now let us understand the background of the poem. This poem was written during the freedom struggle when India was under British rule. At that time, people were losing confidence. They were forgetting their rich heritage. So the poet wrote this poem to remind Indians of their greatness, fill them with pride and confidence. It's like the poet is saying, look at your country. You already have everything. So, what is the central idea of the poem? The poet presents India as a land of natural beauty, a land of ancient wisdom, a land of spiritual greatness. And he repeatedly says India is peerless, meaning no other country is equal to India. So the central message is be proud of your nation and value its richness. Let's now look at the main themes focused in the poem. First comes the patriotism. The entire poem expresses deep love for the country, India. Second, natural beauty. Mountains and rivers show India's richness. And third comes the spiritual heritage. India is the land of knowledge and enlightenment. And next comes the courage and wisdom. Warriors and sages represent strength and intelligence of the country. And finally, courage and bravery. So the poem beautifully combines nature, culture, and spirituality all put together. Now, let us understand the first stanza in detail. The mighty Himavat is ours. There is no equal anywhere on earth. The generous Ganga is ours. Which other rivers can match her grace? The sacred Upanishads are ours. What scriptures else to name with them? This sunny golden land is ours. She is peerless, let's praise her. Here, in these lines, the poet starts with the Himalayas, calling them mighty. This shows strength, grandeur, stability. Then he talks about the Ganga River. Why is Ganga important? It symbolizes purity, life, generosity. Next, he mentions the Upanishads. These are ancient Indian texts full of philosophy and spiritual knowledge. Then he comes to the phrase, this golden land is ours. This is very important line. Why? Because here the word golden means prosperous, rich, and valuable. Finally, he says, she's peerless. Let's praise her. The poet declares that India is unmatched, so we must admire and respect her. Now let us move on to the second stanza of the poem. Gallant warriors have lived here. Many a sage has sanctified this land. The divinest music has been heard here, and here all auspicious things are found. In these lines, the poet starts by saying gallant warriors, which represents bravery, sacrifice, and heroism. Then the poet moves on to say, many a sage has sanctified this line. Here the sages represent wisdom, spiritual knowledge, and purity. Next comes the line, the divinest music has been heard here. This shows India's rich cultural heritage, artistic excellence, and here all auspicious things are found. Auspicious means pure, blessed, and positive things are found in the land of Bharat. So, overall, this stanza tells us India is not only powerful but also deeply spiritual and culturally. Now, let us move on to the final stanza of the poem. Here, Brahma knowledge has taken root, and the Buddha preached his Dharma here. Of hoary antiquity is Bharat. She is peerless, let's praise her. In these lines, the poet says that India is the source of the highest spiritual truth. Why? Because the Brahma's knowledge has taken root here. And Buddha preached his dharma here, which shows India gave the world teaching of peace, compassion, and non-violence. Of hoary antiquity is Bharat here. Hoary antiquity means extremely ancient and rich in history. And again, the poet ends the poem by saying, "She is peerless, let's praise her." The poet reinforces his message that Bharat is peerless and we must praise her. Now, let us understand the refrain here used in the poem. "She's peerless, let's praise her." Why is this phrase repeated again and again in the poem? Because it emphasizes the pride. It creates rhythm and makes the poem musical. It keeps reminding us that India is unique and it deserves appreciation. Now, let us focus on some most important literary devices used in the poem. First comes the personification. "She's peerless, let's praise her." In this line, the poet is using personification, where the poet is personifying, giving human life qualities to the mother Bharat. India is treated as a mother or goddess. Next comes the metaphor. The sunny golden land is the representation of prosperity, a land filled with prosperity. And then comes the hyperbole. "No equal anywhere on earth" is over exaggeration, that there is no other country which is equivalent to Bharat. And then we are having imagery used in the phrases like mighty Himavat, generous Ganga, sunny golden land, where the poet creates visual pictures for the readers to understand it in a more beautiful and clear way. And then the poet has used a refrain that we have already seen in the previous slides. Now let's decode the symbolism used in the poem. The poet has used Himavat to symbolize the strength and Ganga to symbolize the purity. Upanishads represent the knowledge, warriors represent the courage, sages represent wisdom, Buddha represents peace, and golden land represents the prosperity. These symbols together shows India's complete greatness all put together. Now let us focus on the tone and the mood of the poem. The tone is quite proud and admiring tone, and the mood is inspirational and patriotic. The style is very simple, rhythmic, and musical. That's why the poem is easy to understand, yet very powerful. The poem does not follow a very strict rhyming scheme if you read it properly, but it surely uses repetition, hyphens, and rhythms. Hyphen creates pauses and emphasizes the ideas, and this gives the poem a chant like quality. It's like the pause is given and the emphasis there. So it is creating like you stop every single time to enjoy the beat and the rhythm of the poem. And moving on to the important lines used in the poem, some important lines that you can use as text evidence in your exams are as follows. The mighty Himavat is ours, the sacred Upanishads are ours. Here, Brahma knowledge has taken. She's peerless, let's praise her. Use these lines for long answers and reference. Now, let's look at the values and life lessons learned in the poem. Be proud of our country, India. Respect its culture, knowledge, and tradition. Learn from its history and spiritual teachings. Value the unity in diversity concept. Take responsibility to make your country even better. Now, let us have a quick look on some important questions that can come from your exams. Why is India called peerless? What do Himavat and Ganga symbolize? What is meant by hoary antiquity? How does the poet represent India as a land of greatness? Discuss the use of symbolism in the poem. Explain the role of spiritual heritage in the poem. As tips, always write the meaning, symbolism, literary device, and concluding line in the poem when you are explaining the theme of the poem. In conclusion, this poem is a tribute to India's greatness. It highlights natural beauty, cultural richness, spiritual depth. The poet reminds us India is not something ordinary, it is extraordinary, so we must praise it. If this explanation helped you, comment below. India is fearless. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe my channel for more CBSE Class 9 English explanation. Thank you for watching till the end.